Hey, greetings friends. Jacque Howard here, going for a little stroll around Franklin Park. For those of you who don't know, Franklin Park is located in the south ward of Trenton. It's a little noisy. The streets that border Franklin Park is Chambers Street, Cedar Lane, Broad Street, and Liberty Street. It's one of those gateway communities right near Hamilton. And this is Chambers Street. I'm telling you a bit about Franklin Park, not only because that's where I live and where I really enjoy it here with our family, but it's often considered the forgotten part of Trenton. You know, a lot of times when I tell people, where I live, they're like, oh, that's not Trenton, that's Hamilton. I'm like, nah, it's Trenton. But that mindset runs deep. And I often consider it's because of the revolutionary blood that was spilled here, when George Washington was learning to be George Washington on the streets of Trenton. But yet I digress. That's another conversation. I'm speaking more about just the attitudes that many folks have about the different municipalities, and oftentimes Trenton as opposed to the bordering communities. Let this truck go by. But those bordering communities oftentimes want to point the finger, or those residents want to point the fingers at other municipalities about what they're doing right or what they're doing wrong. But I want to encourage folks to come at things from a bit of a different approach. Maybe not who's doing what right or wrong. How about we consider how we can all come together, unify, build together, and make things better for all the humans that are here. Sounds simple, it sounds easy, sounds pie in the sky, but what are our choices and our options? To do what we've been doing for centuries, tens of centuries, where we know it has not been equitable, it has not been uniformly the same for all groups? Well, what are we waiting for? Someone else to come along and do it? Or are we going to take those steps and do it ourselves? I know in the faith community, we often hear of what this time is going to look like when we get to this magical place often known as heaven or the promised land. What are we doing to actually facilitate that in our day-to-day lives? They're the folks I want to talk to. Anyway, I'm Jacque Howard, award-winning radio, television, on-location host, looking to connect with you and yours, your organization, your small business, your cause, so that together we can build a better community for everyone. I'm Jacque Howard. Remember, it's always about justice, peace, and humility.